The Architect of the American Home, a comprehensive guide to Masco Corporation, AMS. As of February 11, 2026, Masco Corporation, ticker AMS, stands as a titan of the home improvement industry. While the stock market has recently been obsessed with Silicon Valley AI, Masco represents the physical AI, the intelligent engineering of the kitchens, bathrooms, and living spaces we inhabit every day. Just yesterday, on February 10, 2026, Masco released its full year 2025 earnings and set an optimistic tone for the year ahead. Despite a dynamic global economy, the company reported adjusted earnings that beat analyst expectations, sending the stock up over 8% in a single day. For an investor today, Masco is a story of dividend durability and operational efficiency. This guide explores the company's powerful brand portfolio, the strategic restructuring of 2026, and the specific risks of the residential remodeling market. 1. What is Masco? The brands behind the walls. Masco doesn't just make building products, it owns the brands that define the industry. To understand Masco, you have to look at its two primary engines. Plumbing products, about $5 billion segment. This is the crown jewel of the company. In 2026, this segment is seeing a massive shift toward wellness and luxury. Faucet and Peerless, the everyday household names. Hansgrohe, the high-end European luxury brand that is driving international growth. Liberty Hardware, newly integrated into the plumbing segment as of January 2026 to create a full suite solution for bathroom and kitchen renovations. Decorative Architectural Products, about $3 billion segment. This is primarily the paint and coatings business. If you've ever walked into a Home Depot, you've seen Masco's dominant presence. Behr Paint, the #1 rated DIY paint brand sold exclusively through Home Depot. Kills, the gold standard for primers and specialty coatings. 2. The 2026 pivot, restructuring for margin expansion. If you are looking at AMS in early 2026, you are witnessing a major cleanup operation. Under the leadership of CEO John Nudi, the company is spending $50 million in 2026 on restructuring actions. Why the change? Streamlining. By moving Liberty Hardware from the decorative segment to the plumbing segment, Masco is consolidating its supply chains and sales teams. The flat market strategy. Masco expects the global repair and remodel (R&R) market to be roughly flat in 2026. Because they can't rely on a booming market to lift all boats, they are focusing on internal efficiency to grow profits. Guidance. Management has projected 2026 adjusted earnings per share (EPS) in the range of $4.10 to $4.30, signaling that even in a stagnant housing market, they can still deliver record-level profits. 3. The Dividend King Legacy, 13 years of growth. For the income investor, Masco is a reliable partner. On February 10, 2026, the board approved a 3% increase in the annual dividend to $1.28 per share. Key dividend metrics. Consistency. This marks the 13th consecutive year of dividend increases. The yield. As of February 2026, the stock yields approximately 1.6% to 1.8%. While this isn't the highest yield in the market, it is backed by an incredibly safe payout ratio of roughly 31%. Share repurchases. Masco is cannibalizing its own shares to make each remaining share more valuable. The board just authorized a brand new $2 billion share repurchase program for 2026. 4. Sector dynamics. The aging home tailwind. The single biggest reason to be bullish on Masco in 2026 isn't the company itself, it's the age of the American home. The median age of a house in the U.S. is now over 40 years old. This creates a forced demand for Masco's products. Faucets leak, showers break, walls need repainting. Because 90% of Masco's revenue comes from the repair and remodel market, R&R, market, rather than new home construction, the company is much more resilient to high mortgage rates than home builders like Lennar or D.R. Horton. Even if people aren't buying new homes, they are fixing the ones they already own. 5. Financial health, 2026 snapshots. Masco's balance sheet in early 2026 reflects a quality-grade investment. Key statistics. As of February 11, 2026, stock price, around $77.82, following the earnings surge. Market capitalization, around $16.1 billion. Price-to-earnings ratio, PE ratio, around 19.9x. This is slightly higher than its 5-year average, reflecting the market's enthusiasm for the 2026 restructuring story. Free cash flow. The company expects to generate $600 million in free cash flow in 2026, which will be used for dividends, buybacks, and bolt-on acquisitions in the wellness space. 6. Critical risks. The tariff and concentration factors. No investment is without risk, and Masco has 3 specific Achilles heels in 2026. Tariff exposure.
Masco imports a significant amount of brass and component parts from China for its plumbing products. In early 2026, geopolitical trade tensions have led to an estimated $200 million tariff impact. While Masco is raising prices to mitigate this, there is a limit to how much a consumer will pay for a faucet before they switch to a cheaper generic brand. Customer concentration. Masco's relationship with the Home Depot is a double-edged sword. Home Depot accounts for roughly 35 to 40% of Masco's total sales. If Home Depot changes its Pro Paint loyalty program or gives a competitor a better shelf position, Masco's revenue could take a sudden, massive hit. The DIY fatigue risk. During the pandemic, everyone painted their house. In 2026, there is a noticeable decline in DIY, do-it-yourself activity, as consumers shift their spending to travel and experiences. While pro sales, painters and contractors, are up, the DIY segment remains a drag on the decorative segment's margins. 7. Strategy. How to invest in AMS in 2026. For most investors, Masco fits into the quality/bucket of a portfolio. The buy-on-dips candidate. Because the R&R market is cyclical, the stock often pulls back when interest rate news is bad. In 2026, a stock price near around $70 is considered a strong entry point, while anything over around $80 might be priced for perfection. The dividend growth play. If you are building a dividend growth portfolio, AMS is a core industrial holding. It provides a higher growth rate for its dividend than many traditional utility stocks. The ESG angle. Masco is a leader in water conservation technology. As water scarcity becomes a bigger global theme in late 2026, Masco's e-Faucet and high-efficiency shower systems are becoming must-haves for green-certified buildings. Conclusion. A disciplined bet on the core of the home. Masco Corporation, AMS, enters the second half of the decade as a lean, brand-focused machine. It has survived the post-pandemic hangover and is now using 2026 to aggressively cut costs and consolidate its power in the plumbing and paint markets. While the company faces significant headwinds from tariffs and a flat global remodeling market, its ability to generate cash and return it to shareholders remains world-class. The verdict. If you believe that people will continue to invest in their homes and you want a company that pays you to wait for the next housing boom, Masco is a premier choice. It is a steady-as-she-goes industrial that is currently getting smarter through restructuring.